Shoot. All right. I am unmuted. Oh, we are just having a hard time here. Unmute. Okay. All right. So welcome everybody to Facebook. Little glitches again. They're just little though. Big surprise is we are here. Oshara is with me today and we are at the Seth house. So we're in apartment 5.
Yeah.
You can see there's the iconic
This
house
looks so
behind
good. I
Jane.
like the screen and what we are including. Yes, we're number 5 and we've got 2 bottles behind us in memory of famous pictures.
And we have so much that's going to happen today. Ron Card came to visit us, so we've got some pictures to show you there. We have a guest that will be on later. We have a wonderful side time to do. And at the end, we'll allot enough time that we do a tour of the house. Okay?
Yes.
Sound good?
Great.
All right. So we see Jeffrey Kiefer is waiting. So I'm going to go ahead and admit him into the meeting, the Zoom. Okay, he's joining. Now I'm going to sit down. I'm standing up. Size difference is crazy. All right, so I'm sitting now.
Hey, Jeff, welcome aboard.
Hi. Uh-oh, we have no sound. Oh, asked to unmute.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, there you are. Okay, good.
Can you hear me now?
And you can hear us, right? Okay, good. Because last week you had to leave twice. You couldn't hear us.
You know what? I think I fixed it. First of all, I don't like these big ears, but I can't use earbuds. They keep falling out.
Okay.
So I tried my wireless, my Bluetooth, and it keeps cutting out. And I knocked my mouse, and it just went off. So you know what? I'm back to the old reliable push button. Everything's connected, and we should be good to go.
That's fine.
And Tom is joining us now. Welcome aboard, Tom. It's good to meet you, see you, and welcome you to Seth's Talk.
You're muted.
Okay, hold on. I'll work on oh, crap. Try it again, Tom. There you go.
Yes, we're good. Yeah, it's good to be here. That's what I was saying.
Good to see you. All right.
You know, once everybody comes in and gets settled in, I'll introduce Tom.
Okay,
But Tom's a long time Sethy. Oshara, you know Tom. He was at the California Seth conference.
I think we have met before, yeah, back at the conference days. And I've seen some of your videos too. So thank you for joining us. This is very cool. Thank you, Jeff, for bringing Tom on.
So our Facebook fans are already getting on. Judy's on. She said, "You both look wonderful. Glad to see you again, Oshara." So Judy Snyder is on. Jane Schaefer-Quint is on watching. Welcome to all the Facebook people. And Facebook generally, trickles in, and sometimes they come and go during our 2 hours. So, but there's a lot of them that, sit and watch the whole time. Awesome.
And they send questions to us and comments, and it's great to hear from our friends on Facebook.
Yeah.
What I would like.
Sounds great.
What I would like to hear from Facebook when they check in and say hi is where everybody's from.
Oh, okay. Well,
Just type it in the little chat box.
I can tell you Judy Snyder is in Florida. I know that. Jane Schaefer-Quint, she's watching, but she hasn't said anything yet. Where are you from, Jane? So she may, so this week has been a crazy busy week. I know Jeff asked me last night, he goes, "I didn't get my invite." And I'm like, "Oh, I haven't sent him yet." Because life is crazy. This is the joy of being the person that does the tech work.
She's the techie queen for all this.
Mickey is coming in. Oh, so Jane is from Chicago. Thanks, Jane. So we have Jane in Chicago, Judy in Florida, and you guys are both in California, right?
We're in the Bay Area. At least I'm in the Bay Area. I think Tom is.
I am in the Bay Area, yes.
Okay. Oshara and I are in Elmira, New York, in number 5 again. We haven't been here since March.
I
April.
think we should let you know the number 5. We're at the Seth House, which is the place where Jane Roberts channeled Seth. And they lived here from 1960 to 1975 in this room, in this building, in this
Wow.
apartment number 5. So when we affectionately say number 5, we mean this is the place where Seth spoke and where Seth gave us most of the
The
information
TV
right
thing.
here at the Seth House in number 5. And
That's
we're
incredible.
here. And the fun part is we will give you, towards the end of this broadcast, we'll give everyone a tour of the whole 5 rooms that are the apartments that where Seth channeled most of his work. Hey,
Hi,
Audrey. Hey,
Audrey.
Nikki and Audrey.
Hi, Audrey. Hi, Mickey.
Hi, Audrey. Hello, everyone.
Hey, good to have
Now,
everybody get together.
Mickey's from England and Audrey is from Rhode Island. So we're spread around a lot.
Not originally from, but they're broad.
No.
Yeah,
Right.
that's where we're at right now.
Where we are right now. So that's
Yeah,
fast that
yeah.
we all
I'm from Florida, but I'm living in England. Yeah.
Yeah, London, England, and so we're all from somewhere, but the point of power is now, and the location is wherever we are here. So just to let you know, so I was just telling Tom, this is the Seth House, and we started a 501c3 nonprofit corporation to preserve this building and honor what happened here. And so this is Tom's first time here, and maybe there's some other new people who are just catching up what this is all about. So welcome, welcome, welcome. And we'll tell you more about this building and show you the apartment as the next couple of hours unfold.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we had a special guest at the Seth House this week. We were so excited. Ron Card drove up here. He made some purchases on Seth
and we have to tell you,
memorabilia.
if you're new here, like Tom, Ron Card is a dear friend of the Seth House, and he's globally known as a collector of Seth, Jane, Rob memorabilia. He has the original rocking chair that Jane Roberts channeled from. She sat in that rocking chair channel. He has the original Ouija board that first was the universal phone.
Now wait, he brought it up with him, so we got to use it.
Stay tuned.
Oh, yeah.
We've got a lot of fun stuff we're going to talk about. Special guest Tom Leichhardt, and we're going to tell you about Ron. We got some photos, fun photos, and just a lot of things are going to be coming up in the show. I actually had to type up a script because there's so much we want to be able to cover here. So we're doing our best. We are not professional broadcasters, but you know, it's fun to bring together people who love Seth. We do this every Sunday at 1 o'clock Eastern time.
1 o'clock.
And 1 o'clock Eastern time from right here from Elmira, New York, where it all happened. And we love to just talk about Seth. And it's just exciting to do this. So every show's a different show. And this one's going to be like so much to talk about. We're so glad you're all here live and on Facebook. And as we always like to say, if other people would like to join what we call our panel, then please send us an email and we can let you know what the special secret codes are to get into this, because we know we can't just open it to the universe and anybody talk or do funny things. So if you want to be on this live panel, we're welcoming more people who want to talk about Seth and share the fun we share every Sunday. So you just have to email us at info@thesethhouse.com. And of course, our website is www.thesethhouse.com. Check it out. There's oodles of information there about the vision for this and fun Seth information. So do check that out. So Kate.
Well, I put a note on Facebook for people that are watching to let us know where you're watching from. So Thomas DiGiacomo is on right now. So he's the next person that hopefully, you know, and people are watching and I don't always know. Miriam is on. She's from Albuquerque, New Mexico. So.
Oh, that's where I went to high school.
Before we get too knee deep in the hoopla here, let me do a brief introduction to our group about Thomas, and then I'm going to turn it back over to y'all, and you can do what you do so well.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead.
So last week we were discussing, I forget what we were discussing, but Facebook chat said how much they would like to see channeling. And I said, oh, I know. I have a friend whose channels, we'll invite him.
Oh,
So Thomas, I've met probably at least 15 years ago. He is a diehard Sethi. He not only attends our local Bay Area Seth group, which I just talked to the other day. He also did the conference circuit. He was a presenter in a couple of our Seth conferences. He's very active in a lot of things, and I am not going to try to put words in his mouth. So all I can say is you guys are in for a treat today, and I'm really happy that Thomas can come and join us. Thomas, why don't you introduce yourself?
Thanks, Jeff. Well, Jeff covered a lot of the basics. I've been reading Seth pretty much forever. He was one of the original spiritual, teachers, for lack of better words, that I tuned into, and I've been reading him off and on over the years. And he's definitely the first channeled information I came across. And ever since I read it, I've been inspired. Like, I would love to do that, but it just took me years and years and years to finally get around to actually beginning to channel, really diving into it about, over the last year. So it's been a new development, even while I've been exposed to channeled material for a very, very long time. So definitely very inspired by Seth. You'll hear a lot of the same concepts. Also inspired somewhat in recent years also by another channel, Bashar, another entity. And so you'll see kind of a mix of Basharian and Sethian concepts coming in. But definitely, if you're familiar with the material, you'll find all the references to parallel realities, simultaneous time. All this will be very familiar to you. So yeah, I'm very excited to share this, and just looking forward to seeing what develops.
Thank you. I had us muted because I was coughing. I've got a little tickle in my throat, so
You get some water.
excuse
here.
me. I do.
Okay. Thank you. That was a great intro,
Yeah.
Tom. And so again, stay tuned. There's going to be a lot happening today. So enjoy the whole 2-hour blast. And if also too, so you know, if you miss some, if you get you want to see it again, we put this on our Facebook page, which is, you all know, is
It's live.
the Seth House Seth discussion group at the Seth House is the name of our Facebook page. We also have a YouTube channel that is called, strangely enough, the Seth House. And we have all of these every Sunday panel discussions posted on our YouTube channel. So if you want to see Tom again or see any of this again, it's all saved for all eternity. And one thing to show you is these two cute little bottles here. And for those of you who are familiar with pictures of Jane, this is one of those iconic pictures of Jane standing next to the bookcase, holding one of the notebooks. And right behind her is these two bottles. These aren't the same bottles, but this is the same window. Exactly the same glass, too, 50 years ago. It's a little stained. We need to clean it up, right? But this was where the bookcase was. This is where we're sitting, is where Jane sat at her table. This was where her writing table was. And this was the view behind her. And in front of her, we'll show you later. But I just wanted to tap on the significance of where this is broadcast from. This is where Jane sat and wrote most of her stuff. And over there, all over the house, Seth channeled. And so there's these beautiful bay windows. Should I take a risk just to show you this? They talk about it all the time, the beautiful bay windows.
I'll do it.
She'll do it.
I'll do it because we have the computer
And
sitting
this
on
is
top.
the view of Elmira, New York, on a rainy day now. It is raining. And you can see the view that Jane, Seth, and Rob had for 15 years while living here. And over there is the Chemung River that in 1972 flooded a wee bit. And
Walnut Street Bridge.
Walnut Street Bridge. And there you have it. This is the view. And it's autumn out here. And the last few leaves are still on the trees. And that's their
We'll just
kitchen.
keep going, but that's the kitchen.
That's the kitchen.
Not even enough room
Hold it.
for a refrigerator.
Let me show. Yeah, this is In the books, they made some jokes about this. The kitchen is so small, they couldn't get a refrigerator in here. But this is it. There's beautiful windows here. So the kitchen and more.
I don't know if they can see that painting because I'm behind the
Oh,
computer
okay.
now.
Yeah. This is an original Jane Roberts painting. She painted this in the 70s. She was beautiful with bright colors and flowers.
You can see she signed the back of it, not the front of it.
Yeah, so it might be flipped over, but anyway,
Well, it should be good.
yeah. And so this is, we have some lots of cool things here. And just to,
Yeah,
this is a
so
large
that's
living
where
room.
the refrigerator is.
That's where the refrigerator is. Back in when Jane and Rob lived here, they had it in the bathroom, which you'll see later in the show.
It's much better in the living room.
So around here, especially, Jane channeled Seth all over this place. But some of the iconic photos show her in the rocking chair right about here. And there was like a little bookcase backdrop behind her right here. But in 15 years, they redecorated a lot. So we have different photos of things being everywhere. But just know that this was the main room that Seth spoke in. And it gives me tingles every time I feel this. And choking up a little bit too.
Yeah.
This is where it happened. So we got to honor this.
Now the mirror is coming up.
Oh,
So this is the original mirror that they did some exercises in.
Seth, Jane, and Rob looked in the
Oh.
mirror the whole time they lived here. It is original, still here.
Yep.
Really old, maybe as old as the house.
And that doorway is where the apparition of Seth was seen.
Mhm.
So if you open that, well, of course, now we're seeing the
Bill
toilet.
McDonald.
Now we
saw-
see the toilet.
Bill McDonald, who's a friend of theirs, sketched a drawing of seeing Seth, which strange enough looked like kind of a cone-headed being, a large cranium that stood right here while Bill sketched it from there. So these are all some wonderful stories we've read in the books, but every single one of these stories we see in Rob's italics really has a place and time where it happened, and it's all in this amazing place. So part of what we're trying to do with the 501c3 is invite people after COVID to come to this place and feel it for themselves and be inspired and read and meditate here or whatever it is that you want. So making it open for the world to enjoy. Okay.
All right, back here. And there's Martin and let's just say a couple of Facebook friends. Vanessa's on, she's from San Jose. Crystal Conway is from upstate New York. Hi, Crystal. Jeff Bird is on, Sonia is on. They haven't said where they're from yet. Martin, he's from South Dakota. Hi, Martin.
Hi.
Martin.
You're a global
Hi.
family.
Yep, yep.
Hey. We are. So, and just to let Thomas know, we do this a lot. We will stop. We will take a look at what the people are posting on Facebook. So I'm using my telephone so that, I'm not fizzing up the screen. And I watch the comments and I try to bring them into the conversation on Zoom. Because we just can't have everybody on Zoom, I guess. But anyway, and some people like just watching and, they come out with some wonderful comments
Oh, yeah.
and questions. And
Yeah, there's some really good comments on there.
absolutely.
Keeps the conversation.
Hi, Martin.
Hi. How
Hi,
you doing?
Mickey.
Hello.
Hi, Mickey.
Now,
Audrey.
now Mickey has,
Jeffrey. I'm sorry.
Mickey spoke with Jane way back when.
She
So
called
her
Jane
up.
up. Here,
And Jane
here in this
answered.
room. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So what do we want to do next?
Well, also let you know, coming up, we're going to talk about Ron Card's visit up here. Kate has a wonderful guided sci-time meditation that is about out-of-body experiences, which of course Tom is an expert on too. And we'll have Tom speak. And yes, there's just like a recipe cookbook here of little things we want to show you and share with you. But again, it's just always so fun to meet with our people every week to talk about Seth. And catch up with each other. But yeah, that's interesting you brought that up. But Jane and Rob were so open
Mhm.
that their phone number was listed.
Public.
And people like Nikki
Believe
Lowe,
it.
our girlfriend in London, were able to call her and she would give her time freely to answer their questions. And she got to talk to her. And hundreds, thousands of, anyway, they were so open and cared about helping to get Seth's information out there, and they cared about people. So that's the beauty of this. It is Seth, but it's also honoring a sweet, quiet little couple, or not so quiet couple, that
Yeah. Sweet.
that dedicated their lives to helping us be able to have treasures like this, nature of personal reality. Seth Speaks, the early sessions. Those of us who love these books, if you can only read 2 Seth books, I'd recommend these 2, Seth Speaks and The Nature of Personal Reality. But another chewy thing we love talking about is the early sessions, which is a 9-volume set of everything that Seth spoke about, most of everything Seth spoke about before Seth Speaks even came to the world. So it's a huge pile of information. 45, 46 books are out there, still in print, and ready for you to love and enjoy and change your life with. She's eating a cookie. Let's watch her.
When I retire, I'm going to read all of them in one sitting. I can read pretty fast, but I might not be able to do that. It's pretty deep.
Now, before we launch into some of the stuff, let's check in with all our girlfriends and boyfriends here. Are there any hot and juicy personal Seth experiences that any of you have had this week that you care to share with us? Psychic stuff, consciousness stuff, breakthroughs, reading the stuff,
Dreams.
Yep. Ding! I'm sorry, contestants, your time is up.
I didn't want to go first. I didn't want to hog the first, but since no one else has said anything yet, I'm just about vibrating and tingling off the screen.
Good.
I'm really trying to process, I think is the word, some stuff that happened about 3 hours before session time. And a couple of days ago it started, but I took a nap before the session. Something told me to go lie down, take a nap. And during that time, I had this unbelievable out of body. And during it, I feel so silly saying it, but I contacted about 3 or 4 of my alternative selves. I had asked for some help with some very intense drama in the family this week. And so in fact, several kinds. There were a couple of different things that came up. And so I kind of threw my hands up and said, okay, they're always telling us, Seth is always saying, and they remind us that he told us to ask for help, ask for our other selves to help. So that's what I did. I just threw my hands up and said, okay, guys, all of you, whoever it is out there, whichever lifetime you're living, I need some help. And it was quite amazing. It's a strange sensation. First, I was aware that I had reached, that someone was listening, that there indeed had been someone who had heard me. And so several people came around. And the next thing that happened was, rather than say a conversation, quote unquote, the next thing that happened was I became aware of an answer to what I was looking to understand. And in that answer, it said to me that we are all, first of all, you remember that we're all connected, right? And I said, yes. And you remember that because of the profundity of how much we are all connected, that means every galaxy, every universe, every form of existence, not just life, but every form of consciousness that there is, we are all equally connected to each other. We're all part of the same reality, the same exploration of existence. And that because of that, I could indeed contact anybody, not just my own probable selves, but it said, we're here because we are part of your probable selves, but we want to establish right off the bat that you can contact outside of that small list of the several million probable selves that you have. It's a small list, you know. And it went on to answer my questions and say that what I needed to do to even begin solving the problem was to realize that problems that come up, because I wanted to know, well, how in the hell did I create all of this and blah, blah, blah? What's my part in it? And it said, well, you first have to remember that you created it for a reason. You created it because it would indicate something you needed to learn about. No matter how good it is or how bad it is, there's a reason for you to go through it. It's simply a lesson. And if you think that you've gotten what you need from the lesson, if you really do embrace the learning curve of this, all of the intense drama, if you will really step back, take the crap out, and really understand that there's something here, like a nut to be gotten, to be recognized, then you can release it. You just simply say, okay, I got it. And we will all help you just say, okay, to hell with it. It's you now turn to a different part of the path. You now choose a different reality and you fully embrace that if you really do believe that you've gotten what you're supposed to get. And with that, I started looking at a number of problems throughout life, things I created, things I was privy to, and started releasing each one of them. So I said I'm kind of vibrating with awareness because I'm shocked at how much stuff I kicked out of the boat, you know, at this late date in life. And so um, I'm just taking it all in. I mean, it'll probably take me days and days, weeks and weeks, maybe months and months to fully understand what I'm doing, what I'm releasing, and what the consequences will be. But I saw that every person in my life is me.
Mhm.
That
That
was what
was
I
tough.
came away with. I suddenly realized that
Yeah,
everybody I
I
knew, every consciousness I knew of, every fly, every mosquito, they were all me in some form.
yeah.
And so that put a whole new spin on everything. And that's what I'll be grappling to understand.
Mhm.
That's huge.
So I'm like,
Yeah.
just, ah.
Wonderful.
So I just sit here in absolute awe because
Yeah.
this was heavy. I mean, Thomas, I too channel, and
Oh, great.
I thought that was big, you know, in life. It was very, very early in my life, and I thought, wow. But let me tell you, this wow has stomped that one. I just, I don't know what to do with it all. So I'll be chewing on this, folks, probably for several Sundays.
Yeah.
And this just happened before the show. You took a nap. And the thing is that
Because I set an alarm so I would have time to get up and become human, you
Mhm.
know, and be wide awake and, you know, put on a little makeup. And so the alarm rang, and I'm like, oh, I didn't even realize I was asleep because I was thinking, I thought
Mhm.
I was awake.
You were awake.
Yeah.
I think, Mickey, what's so, the thing about these experiences is, well, they're for everybody, for one thing, but if you
Exactly.
know that it's possible and it's real and how to go into it and receive it without fear, to receive it joyfully, like how Seth is explaining the reality of our souls and our consciousness and
Yes.
what we're capable of. So if we're aware of the truth, when these gifts of expansion of awareness are given to us, we know to be present. We know what it is. We can go deeper. We can ask for these experiences. We
And
can,
they happen very fast. I mean, that was the thing where you, like you were just saying, when he has said, embrace it. If you will just but embrace it. Someone during the week had posted on your page, out of the different things they posted, are quotes from Seth, material and books and stuff. And they were posting a passage where he was saying how frustrated he was, but he was talking to Rob and um, uh, Jane. Duh. See, my mind is a wreck.
Buzzing.
but he was talking to them and he was saying something like, I just wish I could get you to understand how instantly you can just simply do the stuff I'm telling you. Just do it. Just, go ahead and embrace it. And I thought I kept saying to myself, he said it's easy. He said just do it, accept it, and really accept it. So I started thinking about that as I went into it and saying, I just want to go ahead and learn how to get this help. I want to learn how to express to the other selves, wherever and however they are, that this, I really mean it, come help me. And I sat there in shock that, I mean, within, say, a couple of seconds, I was starting to feel different stuff around me and the depths of it. It made me remember once, a very long time ago, when I had once again had a breakthrough experience where I actually contacted, I wasn't even thinking about it. I thought my higher self. There are many, but I did contact, and the way I knew it didn't say but one thing, and it used my given birth name, and it called my name, and it said, I love you. And the profundity of the feeling that came out of that totally blew my mind. I had never experienced anything like it. I had never felt anything that had that vibration. I'd been in love, I'd been married several times, but I could not believe this big column of whatever it was. I could feel, a connection going up, and it blew my mind. Well, this was like that. Only it wasn't just the one, I am your higher self. I've grown a lot since then, so I know there's a bunch of them. But but this is such an easy thing to accomplish if you allow it. If you just simply cut the crap and say, go ahead, I'll listen. I'll be here for you. So that was the nature of my show and tell. I just
Wow. Thank you. That was,
I'm blown away.
I love
Yeah.
that we got the scoop. First,
Moments after it happened.
yeah, right.
it happens and you go live and you tell it, we got the scoop across the world. And I love the way you told it. It's very inspiring. And just the way you're saying it, we can just do it.
Yeah.
And
We have to trust ourselves.
yeah.
And that's what is hard to establish. That you believe it when you say, oh yeah, I trust myself. I like myself. Blah, 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 blah. And it's mostly bull. And if you really
we're growing into full acceptance of self-love. Yes.
you have to mean it.
Yeah, what we're saying is like, and Seth is saying what this is like realizing some beautiful truths. We're a part of a greater reality. Seth's term, all that is, and entity, over soul, whatever. We're connected with so much, and we are loved more than we can imagine. I mean, just to get some of these wonderful basic truths down. And it's so sad that so many people out these windows and around the world are working with operating systems they grew up with that are so painful, really.
Yes, they make you think that you're not enough and you need this other person who's higher than you first. And then above that, they're going to interpret for you from all that is and blah, blah, blah. And we don't learn to understand the all in the all that is. I mean, all is a concept that we're just barely, barely, barely touching.
And what Seth said too was that we're at the beginning of something big, and
Yes.
our consciousness and our awareness.
Yes.
We have to have this idea in some religions of a big, mean God who hates you. Can't wait to get
vengeful, jealous.
It's like, what? No, Seth is saying it's time to set the childish myths aside, the painful ideology that's held humanity back, and really embrace this infinite potential of all of us, all of our,
Mm.
first we got to realize that well, just read a couple of Seth books and you'll get up to speed about how awesome it is, you know. I'll let
Yeah.
Seth speak for himself, but it's wonderful that we can come together like this on this show and to just share our growth with each other.
Yeah.
And Seth groups
Yeah.
around the world where people get together to read these beautiful books and talk about it, and it helps support each other in groups around the world in all languages to just support each other in growth and development and reaching out
Yeah.
and reading together. So we're so fortunate that people can grow together, come together, read together.
I want to thank everyone who contributes to your page, because that community of souls is just unbelievably rarefied in the atmosphere they create. They have created something on that page. When you go to it every day, you get notified that someone else has dropped something and someone else has published something or posted. And when you get used to the rhythm of these things popping into your day, they're, all day long, there's so many people that if each one were to share something once a month, you'd still have all this stuff coming through every day. And to me, I'm always surprised at how appropriate it is. To whatever's going on with you, your eye hits this page and you fly through some of them, and then you hit one that goes, slaps the taste out of your mouth. And you're like, who told them I was thinking about that? And the stuff
Yeah.
gets to you that is supposed to get to you. That's my point, is that whatever's for you will come. You'll get it. It's there for you on the page. And I thank you, every one of you out there in the community on the page. My gosh, you add to my day, you add to my lesson, you add to my soul. And it's just wonderful. I'm so grateful.
And that's our
Mickey.
Facebook friends. They are wonderful.
And
Yeah.
bless you, Mickey, for sharing all of this, because it is so true. I feel it like when and for those who don't know, the name of it's the Facebook page, Seth Discussion Group at the Seth House.
Mhm.
Yeah.
If you're not a member, become one.
Yeah.
And
We're
our-
two-
If you just put in Seth on Facebook, it will bring up all the different stuff. You get to pick between so many. You'll see it there, the discussion group.
are there people from our Facebook page now that were saying some things on your phone that are
No, they're
questioning?
all being quiet. but
They're all listening.
Jeff Bird is on, and Sonia and Teresa
On
Kay.
to hear
They're
every
all
word.
riveted to Mickey.
So,
like, oh,
right. Everybody's there's a bunch watching, but
They're riveted to Mickey right
I'm
now.
not
They
saying
can't talk because I'm hugging them all.
Oh,
We love it. We love
yeah.
you.
Beautiful.
Well,
I don't know that we can top that, hon.
no, we can't. Well, maybe we can't. Well, let's try it. Let's try giving him a download of a bunch of. Should we talk about the Ron visit and a couple of?
All right. Well, let me
Oh, you go
let me
first.
try that. We'll talk about the Ron visit. I'm going to let Oshara talk while I do some computer stuff. So I'm going to change our picture so that it's full screen because I have some pictures I'm going to try to share.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And so I want the Facebook people to be able to see it in the whole screen as opposed to one little window.
We have a lot of fun, like show
I'm
and
gonna-
tell
yeah.
things for you
Yeah.
that you're going to.
Ooh,
I'm going to try to do that. now.
you're on full screen to me.
Oh, I am. Oh, because I see all little boxes.
Well,
Oh
Mick-
no, you're the whole shebang.
But we got some big things to share with you that
Yeah,
we get out of full
I can see that. Yeah.
screen.
I'm
All
going to
this.
pin us.
There we are.
Because this is the one recording. So I'm going to pin us.
Okay, so
Mhm.
when we show you all these things, show and tell time.
I think I keep you pinned. So
Okay.
you're always the center for me.
This way, this video will, yeah, this is good. She's the techie queen.
I love being the center of everything. No. Just saying. All right. So there's that.
And you're cute too.
We
Well,
have,
let's wait on that.
oh,
Yeah,
what do
not,
you want to
not just
do?
yet. Well, I wanted
All
to
right.
say a couple of things.
Okay, then go ahead.
So we're all ready to show you things. So as we said, Ron Card, who's a big Seth enthusiast and a collector, and he has his own Facebook, couple of Facebook pages too for Seth.
But it's Seth Force.
His is called Seth Force, and become a member of that too. He drove up, he lives in Virginia. He drove up here to Elmira, a 10-hour drive,
10 hours.
because there was a local person here who had some Seth, Jane, Rob memorabilia that he purchased from them. So papers, notebooks, photo albums that were connected with Jane and Rob, and a bunch of other stuff. We'll let Ron tell you all about it on Seth Force. He should be getting home right now. Like I said, he was here a couple days. He got to sleep here at the Seth house, open arms here, welcoming him. And so he came up, he purchased a lot of fun things, and he's going to show them to you on his site. Again, it's Seth Force, so be sure to check in with him on that. And as Kate said, he brought his Ouija board with him. He has the Ouija board that, for those you don't know, Rob and Jane in 1963 got on a Ouija board to do some psychic experiments, and they contacted Seth, and Seth came through, and the rest is history, but the rest is life-changing, earth-changing. Seth began the conversation through the Ouija board, and within a number of sessions, he was able to speak through Jane directly. So her channeling was aided by the beginning of well, actually her first experience was in September of 63. She had an out-of-body experience sitting right around here. She flew out the window and into some trees and leaves. And then a few months later, they're experimenting on the Ouija board. And that's when Seth came through. He started dictating on the board. Rob took those copious notes, and then Jane started channeling direct, and volumes and volumes of information came from Seth. But it started with that Ouija board experience, is when he was able to say, "You can call me Seth." Rob brought that Ouija board here, and we got to touch it and work it a little bit. It moved immediately. It went to the number 5 about 3 times, which is, of course, number 5, this apartment number. And it just, the main thing was the feeling that all 3 of us felt. It's like, it was like nurturing and loving. We felt like we were wrapped in an energy of love. He said soothing.
He said soothing, yes.
And loving, and like this, something was really around the 3 of us. This was a wonderful spiritual experience right here on this table to feel that. And we felt like,
saying I'm here.
yeah. That's here.
He doesn't want to eclipse himself, but he's here. Yeah.
I believe Seth's there for everyone, obviously. And just that feeling of with that original board, and the tender feeling you get with that, and with Ron and the 3 of us who love this material and this crazy old building. But to say, Seth, hi, we love you. And to feel that energy together, it was so moving. It was just so, yeah. So I wanted to share that.
Yeah.
And he took the board with him because he's on the board.
Yeah.
Well, he's really preserved.
He's taken wonderful care of all of the artifacts.
He treasures Seth and saving these precious. Sure, they're just things, but it gives us a feeling to touch these things, to see these things, to know these things are appreciated and honored for what happened and is happening in a timeless universe. So another thing Ron did, and he's just such a gem, is he gave some gifts to the Seth house. And we want to show you some of things. We can just tell you, it was like fun things that he brought up. One is, we're not going to open it up, but it's a map of Elmira, a reproduction of a map of Elmira in like 100 years ago,
1888, which is the year this house was built.
Yeah.
Oh.
A map of Elmira, and the Seth house is brand new on this map. I don't want to open up because I'm afraid I'm going to wreck it. We want to get
we're going to get a big poster,
a nice frame, so that this is part of the Seth house. When you walk into the welcome center, this will be on the wall. You are here 100 years ago. And another thing was this is exciting to me because I have a little postcard collection. I like some, maybe I have that many antique postcards that I got on eBay for the Seth house and for honoring Elmira, because that's also a big thing you see in the books. Is they're always writing about Elmira. We're in Elmira, hometown Elmira. And Elmira is like one of the co-stars of the Seth material, kind of. So
Yeah.
he purchased on eBay over many months this collection of antique postcards. Honey, can you help me with this? Oh, I'll call her honey because we're a cute lesbian couple. So
Here.
here is a collection of 100-year-old and more postcards from Elmira, New York. First off, I'll show you this one. This is a reproduction of the top two. This is the Seth House itself. This postcard is marked 1916, but this yellow house, that's how it looked back over 100 years ago. And so we got a couple of those in the collection. This is like other areas in Water Street, which is Water Street and Wall. And just, oh, it's going to show backwards, but so what? Anyway, these huge picture cards of Elmira. This is a huge notebook of just the beauty of Elmira.
Oh,
This was a Golden City postcards like this.
Wow.
If you want to see it, you can watch this and move slower, but I'm going to try to get every page so you know what the gift was and the feeling of Elmira when it was a Golden City and why Jane and Rob loved Elmira. And look, you see the old, you know, I love postcards because it's people sending drops of love to loved ones for a penny or so.
Yeah.
Scribbling, I love you, sorry I haven't had a chance to write, see you soon. You know, that's postcards and people putting little diary things. But here's all these beautiful old postcards. What a collection. And this is going to be here at the Seth House for people to enjoy. Look at this. This is the views of people, maps, buildings.
Amazing.
Amazing architecture in this town, still standing. This was the downtown. Trolley cars used to be all over here. It was a thriving downtown before the flood of 72, but many of the buildings still stand. And in a timeless universe, people, you can fly into these postcards in your next meditation of Elmira as it was, and Elmira in the present, and Elmira in the future, and the gracious city that Jane and Rob loved so much. They lived here most of their lives because they loved Elmira and they talked about it in the books. So look at all these postcards. Thank you, Ron, for the gift of putting this together so that the Seth House can show you this. And this will be here on just waiting for people to come around here. So much, that's the thing about the Seth House. We want to collect everything together that we can. The thing Ron has said too, he's going to donate his collection to the Seth House. So all this stuff he has collected, so many things people have already donated to us are here because we need to make this a place where we preserve and honor the memory, Jane, Rob, Seth, everything that happened here, and honor that memory and use it, not just honoring a memory, but using it, come together to activate ourselves, to reach our consciousness out, to be inspired, to meet each other, to have classes and groups and workshops and amazing people speaking here. And that's the flood of 1943 or 42. I can't read it now. So there's the 72 flood, but this place flooded. That's downtown way back when.
Okay.
So
It's a heavy book.
it's a heavy book.
That's a
I
heavy-
know your arm is dead.
Oh, yeah.
So again, that timeless universe feeling of the past, the present, the future. Any thoughts about seeing that notebook? How did that feel to you guys? You loved it.
yeah.
Very cool.
Again, trying to make this a place we come to. I want to show them something else though, really. A place we come to have classes and workshops and inspire each other, to study the books and to have breakthroughs in this place. And so now why don't we switch into
That was amazing. That was moving.
pictures of present where Ron was here.
Okay, well, I just have a couple, so I only have 3 pictures and then the message.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
But anything else to say before we move on?
No, I'm
Wait,
gonna, so I'm gonna share the screen with everybody. God,
Okay.
I hope, I've never done this, so I hope it works.
We're having the greatest show and tell.
Oh, great. Optimize, share, I don't know. preview unknown, advanced files. Let's just say share. I don't know. I've got allow Zoom. Yeah. Oh,
While we're waiting, I can
yeah.
show you, this is a favorite postcard we have.
Yeah.
Please restore me.
Stormy, we made this together, Kate and I, and we marked it. We took the photo and marked where, from the outside, this house was built in 1888. It is in desperate need of restoration, but that's from the outside. That's Rob's art studio. That's where their bedroom is. This is a bathroom here. This is the bay windows where we are right now. We're in this window right here, or this window right here. Waving. We're waving from this window. And then the kitchen is right there. So, past,
okay.
present,
It's
future.
gonna work. It's gonna work.
Okay.
I hope.
We love sharing this.
Look.
That's one card from the window I just showed you. And we were down on the ground taking a picture up at him. So peace from Ron to
Peace
you.
from Ron. Well, you can see how it's, well, you can't point it out.
Oh,
but
there, well, up there it shows, I guess. So
how
it's that,
Yeah.
it's one of those,
Yeah.
that window, I think, that he's
Yeah.
standing at. Go on, what's the next one?
Oh,
Is it
it's
that one?
not gonna let
Click
me
that one.
do. Holy crap.
By the way, oh yeah,
There
there
it
it is. That's me and the whole chunk of it. And he's holding the Ouija board
He's holding the Ouija board. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
in the window, holding the Ouija board while I'm down below pointing. Look, there's Ron. And I kind of want to show you why they can see this. Is look what bad shape this poor building is in. The faded paint, terribly faded, the rotting wood. Maybe you can see it even better if you go back there and I'll just point. You can't see my finger pointing.
No, she's pointing at the screen. I know you can't see that, but
Oh, you can't see that there,
You-
but you can see at the bottom of it, the window, the windows, yeah. Anyway,
well, okay, you can
let's
see
go to
this
the next.
little mousy thing moving. So right here, you can see
The
how
wood-
Yeah.
it's rotted.
Yeah, you can see. Yeah.
And the right here, it's broken. This is an airplane wire holding the window together.
We saved,
Oh.
remember,
We
saved the
saved
glass.
the glass that Jane
That
looked
was like
through.
a huge project to save that
Stop.
glass. Oh, I'm sorry. What's the next one? That
The
one.
next one is
So you can
that
see
one.
that one
Yeah.
and how uneven the paint is, how chipped everything is, how rotting it is. We have to restore the building. That's the big deal here.
Mm-hmm.
So there's Ron with the Ouija board, and then I zoomed in so you could see it. This is the Ouija board. And look above the window at how rotted the wood is.
Mm-hmm.
And how terribly rendered the paint job was when they did
Yeah.
paint the place. They did a terrible paint job. It's faded, uneven, and rotting. So this is what your donations will help us do: is buy the building and fix the building. But love that board. That is the board where Seth started.
It is.
Yeah.
It's bigger than the new ones that you see today.
Yeah. I have
Yeah.
one like that
Yeah.
from the 70s.
So Ron got to spend the night here, and you know how Ron is about his dream campus, Seth Dream.
Yeah.
So while he was here, he had a message. He had a dream. He woke up and he wrote this down.
About 1:15 in the morning, he said. Yeah, there it is. This is what he wrote while he was sleeping and dreaming in the room, the bedroom that was where Jane and Rob slept and dreamed. And at 1:15, he's awoke and he writes that down on the clipboard I had there for him. What did we do?
Go ahead, read it.
Okay, so he wrote, first he titled it Ron's TheSethHouse Odyssey, November 13th and 14th, 2020. And he says, we are, well, again, subtitle, we are Seth, dream message tweet. He sometimes calls them, tweets like Twitter. But those last two lines are the voice he heard while he was here and open to receiving. And what he heard and what he was told, the universe is still safe. Tell yourself this often. And those of us who remember the Seth quote, you are living in a safe universe. You are in a safe universe. Keep telling yourself that. So here we are in crazy 2020, but the voice he hears, the universe is still safe. Tell yourself this often.
Stop the share, so we're all good.
Wow, that was wonderful.
Isn't that powerful?
It was a real big deal for him to get that.
Very powerful. All right.
And one thing we want to do here at Seth House is make it kind of a Seth B&B. It's an eight apartment building, eight apartments in the building. And when we get it, the 501c3 nonprofit purchases the building and restores the building, we want to be able to invite people to come stay and sleep in some of these apartments. It's made for that, for people to come from around the world, to be here, to sleep here, to dream here, and to talk here with other Seth friends. How was that, honey?
It was great. So some people are on Facebook.
Facebook friends are talking.
So Judy, as we were showing the postcards, she said it was once termed the Queen City of New York State.
Elmira.
I don't
was.
know why, but it was definitely a hub of commerce and activity. And then she said, Google, she got this, called the Queen City of the Southern Tier, quoted from Harper's Bazaar. There is a Queen City along the Erie Railroad known as Elmira. How nice. And Miriam said, love your postcards.
Wow.
Very nice.
That is beautiful.
So it was Harper's Bazaar that coined the Queen City. So that's our Ron. We had such a nice trip with him. It was 20 hours for him round trip.
Wow.
Got so many, and we saw, there were boxes. We put boxes in his car. So we saw VHS tapes. We saw some artwork. We saw lots and lots of books. I assume that they were personal books of Jane and Rob's. Some of them were Seth books, and some of them were other books too. And then boxes that weren't opened. And we did see one photograph album and recognized Jane's mother in one of them. So they're definitely family heirlooms.
So she's talking about the stuff that Ron came up here to buy stuff from a local person who had some of this memorabilia. And, boxes and boxes of fun stuff. So he, again, sorting through all of it and posting it on his site, the Seth Force.
Yes. And he will post them on our group page as well.
Oh yeah, he always what he posts on his thing, he also posts on ours, which is part of what Mickey described as this great wealth of information of people posting on it for you all to enjoy. So
yeah,
coming events.
Should we jump into sign time?
Well, let me see here. There was also
can I have a request?
Yes.
I don't know if Thomas can stay past because time is starting to drag out. Maybe we could let him do his thing now and do all that afterwards, because I think a lot of us can stick around if it goes past our hour.
So it's 2:00 now, and we do this for 2 hours. So this is the perfect time. That's what I was looking at here, is like, I think we're going to segue into Tom, I think, according to this. So the best person to give the introduction to Tom would be Tom. So why don't we let you do that, Tom? Who are you? Tell us what we should know about Tom and what you want to do here now. Love ya.
Great. So, well, as I mentioned earlier, I've been channeling fairly recently. In about the last year, I've really opened up to taking questions from people and practicing with friends and just really opening up. But I've been interested in it for a very, very long time. And ever since I've been reading the Seth material, I've been exposed to this idea of contacting. And even when I was a small child, I just had this idea of these impressions would come to me as if, like, I feel like I'm this kind of circuit that connects the higher dimensions to these dimensions, like I'm a conduit. And I didn't really quite understand the meaning of that. And I'm still, it's still unfolding within me. But that's basically it as it relates to channeling. I've been reading Seth for a long time. And as I've said earlier, recently been very inspired by Bashar as well, another channeled entity. And I've always been in the healing arts. Like, I found the healing arts as a happy medium between right livelihood and being in the spiritual path, and just like serving others through the healing arts. Just that was the happy medium for me. So it's always had that kind of a vein. And it's just been, it's just truly what it is following my passion. And this is the next stage of the development, is to translate non-physical energy into vocalized messages for others. And what I realized is that we all do this, and we all enter channeling states, particularly when we're following our passion and really expressing ourselves. And it's all about bringing more of who we are through ourselves, through these personality structures, which stretches the personality and just enables us to express our light into the world. So all of us have that channeling capacity. You know, some of us channel it into words, some of us into art, some of us into different kinds of expression. So it always comes down for me to following our passion and manifesting that. So that's a brief intro. So what I would like to do is to record the channeling. So what I'll do is check some of these devices, make sure they're on. And I also have my own YouTube channel that I post my channelings to. And so it's just going to be camera facing me and a recording of the actual transmission itself. So let me go ahead and just check these devices, make sure they are on. Okay, very good. Good thing I checked. All right, so what I'm going to do is go into the channeling state. It'll take a few moments. I'll bring through a message and then I'll open it up to Q&A. So it sounds like through Facebook Live and all of y'all will be able to ask questions. So let's go ahead and just begin by finding a comfortable meditation or receptive posture. Let's allow ourselves to become very present. Tuning our attention inward. Good day to you. We welcome you to the realms of light, where the vast majority of who you are also exists. We welcome you to the realms of light from where your physical life, your physical personality, and your entire physical worlds are spring. We are most excited for all of you who are on this great adventure, following your passion to co-create this wonderful center. For the world truly is as you dream it. Your physical lives are very much like the dreams that you experience in your nighttime. You are moving to that state of consciousness where you recognize the physical life is but another version of a dream experience that you're having. Thusly, when you follow your passion, you truly begin to realize that you can create and crystallize your most intimate longings into a physicalized, crystallized time-space reality structure. Thus, you are becoming more lucid in your physical lifetime as much as you are learning to become lucid in your nighttime dreams. For you are moving as a society very, very quickly to fourth density consciousness, whereby your physical lives will become much more dream-like, where synchronicity will be experienced in what might at this time appear to be magical. In incredible ways, this will be part and parcel of your daily experience. And while you will always feel the magic of your life, you will at the same time experience it as your daily reality. This lead is so important to follow your passion, For that is the translation by your physical body of the non-physical consciousness. You translate it as excitement and passion. Thusly, as the old saying goes, follow your bliss and don't be afraid. This is how you crystallize the non-physical you into the crystallized reality all around you, for you are recognizing that it is not something that exists apart from you. It is you. You are the reality that you previously thought you existed within. Thusly, when you crystallize the non-physical portion of you through the physical actions that you take by following your passion, so do you crystallize that non-physical energy into events, into circumstances. Thusly, recognize that the circumstances are secondary. It is the vibration that is primary, and you're learning as physical personalities to translate this non-physical energy that you are into this type of crystallized reality that you take to be your time-space reality, but this is all an extension of you. Thus you are recognizing that it is a kind of lucid dream, rather than, as the old consciousness would dictate, that things happen to you. It is not a haphazard universe. Everything happens with intricate precision. There is nothing out of place. It is only from your limited perspective you can consider anything to be out of place. Everything already is in a spontaneous, synchronous order. Synchronicity abounds. Now, of course, you can have negative as well as positive synchronicity, and we often point out that there is no such thing as an obstacle. An obstacle is simply the revelation of negative beliefs that are active, for you are running your energy through a negative belief structure. And this is being reflected to the external reality that you experience. Thusly, the reflection points to the negative belief that is generating it. Thus, it is not an obstacle, it is a revelation. All obstacles are revelations. They reveal to you exactly through which belief matrix you are running your energy. Thusly, to become lucid in your waking life, you recognize that everything is synchronicity, everything is perfectly materializing in utter perfection. And when you label it thusly, you can work with it more consciously by rolling your sleeves up and taking ownership, taking responsibility for everything you have previously labeled as an obstacle. Reframing it to allow it to serve you as a revelation. For you cannot change what you do not own. Thusly, bringing to your awareness all that limits you gives you the capacity to transform. For when you look at it in a neutral way without pushing it away, you can have the power of choice. Thusly, using the power of paradox and the power of choice by becoming aware, by acknowledging where you are, including all the limitations, then you can step beyond. When you truly learn the curriculum, you can step to the next stage of development. This has been expanded through the experience shared this morning. When you truly acknowledge the challenge and the difficulty for what it is, and you truly extract from it the lesson that is there to bring to you, then you can truly move beyond. But when you push it aside, when you resist, then you prolong the experience within that stage of curriculum. Only by embracing the limitation can you go beyond it. So let our limitations serve as messengers to let you to know exactly where you are restricting your energy so that you can let more of that energy go and flow through your personality, manifesting more and more of that which you prefer. Becoming aware of the entire structure of your personality, all the beliefs, all the feelings, and all the thoughts. Taking ownership, taking stock, reveals all the ways that you restrict yourselves, where you are doing it to yourselves, and you realize, when you realize that you are the one doing it, then you have the choice to choose otherwise. Thusly, do not be afraid to investigate, to explore your personality, especially those portions of the personality that restrict the flow, for then you can release in consciousness, choose a much more preferred state of being, not by invalidating the negativities, but by embracing them. And this is the power of paradox. For when you truly own it, you can release it. You can choose otherwise. Now the way to activate this process of expansion is, as we have mentioned, is to continue to follow your passion, follow your excitement. Now we very much love to impart the formula that has been given by the society civilization as a gift to humanity. That being to follow your passion to the best of your ability, with taking it as far as you can with zero insistence on any particular outcome. This formula given as a gift to humanity very much distills the process in the most basic of terms, for you are learning to translate your non-physical energy self into crystallized, physicalized reality. You do this by following a passion. You take it as far as you can. And the idea of zero insistence simply means that from a physicalized perspective, we do not know. As a physical consciousness, you do not know how things will play out. Only the higher mind knows such things. Therefore, you want to trust the higher mind to fill in the time-space reality, while you as a physical personality maintain and hone the vibration of excitement, of passion. Just through whatever projects you are engaged in, trust that synchronicity is always working, and even if you're finding yourself experiencing various blockages or limitations, know that those limitations are being highlighted so that you can work through them. So do not be afraid of the limitations. If they are being revealed to you, it means that more awareness is flowing into your personality. For when you expand the light, it reveals more of the darkness. This is part of the joy of expansion. Expansion is a process of inclusion. Thusly, it includes not only more awareness of the light, but also more awareness of the darkness. And yet, when you are able to see it all as part of all that is, without invalidating any portion of all that is, so within that state of neutrality, you can choose that which you prefer without invalidating that which you do not prefer, making it thusly easy to choose your preferred realities. Thusly embracing that power of the paradox, without invalidating any portion of all that is, and by extension, without invalidating any portion of your personality. You can, using the positive, inclusive vibration of integration, embrace all that you are, including the negative portions. And in so doing, find yourself in the positive vibration of integration, which will allow you to expand into more and more. For expansion is a process of inclusion. So do not be afraid to continue to expand. Do not be afraid of the limitations that the light reveals. For that is an indication, not that it is not working, but rather that it is precisely working. For synchronicity is organizing your curriculum for you. So anything that you are experiencing is perfectly designed for you and by you as a creative challenge. Therefore, label it as a creative challenge and you'll have a creative, exciting experience of working with and working through and beyond that challenge. Label it as an impediment, as a wall, as a block, and you'll have the experience of a wall, a block, a limitation. Trust yourselves above all, trust the process that you're in. Indeed, it is a very safe universe, for you all are infinite, eternal beings. And you exist. And by the nature of your existence, you have inherent and incredible value. You are a part of all that is. Thus, as a basic reality, you have inherent and incredible value, for all that is would not be all that it could be had you not existed. And because you exist, you're an integral part of all that is. So take it at face value. You have incredible value. You are here. You are a part of it all. You have a part to play. You have a note to play in the grand symphony, in the grand orchestration. So know yourselves and honor yourselves. And indeed, when you know and honor and integrate yourselves, so will you know and honor others and integrate as a society, as a reflective mirror for the integration taking place within yourselves. And know that all parts of all that is are honored and respected. For the negative provides contrast to the positive, and due to the infinite nature of all that is, all realities play themselves out. And you can choose the realities that you prefer by navigating, by following your passion, and using the Sasani formula. Now, having shared and delivered this message, we would like to ask if there are any questions that we can address at this time.
So there is a question on Facebook from Anne Florence Jones. Can you please speak more about the formula?
Yes, the formula originally was delivered by the entity known as Bashar. However, here we can simply expand upon it as the translation of the non-physical version of who you are into physicalized, crystallized term, the experience of passion as it courses through your physical structure, through your physical body. That is the translation of the non-physical version of who you are. Therefore, trust the flow of excitement and the flow of passion. You can use that as a navigational tool for you are always receiving communications from your higher mind. Impulses, as Seth would say, you're always receiving impulses. And when you act upon them, you so then translate that impulse, that non-physical energy of who you are, into physicalized events. You crystallize it, you channel it down from the higher non-physical aspects of who you are into physicalized, crystallized events. You ground the energy, you ground the circuit when you take the action upon it. Firstly, it is all well and good to visualize, but it is through the action, through the physical action, because you are physical creatures. You ground the energy, the non-physical energy, through your action. Firstly, it is so important to act on your passion. For when you then act on your passion, you are not channeling the energy of who you are into your physical body. Firstly, you will begin to experience diminishment of energy for you not completing the circuit. Being a physical creature, it is up to each physicalized consciousness to continue to pour consciousness through the physical vehicle, through the physical action that you take by following your passion. The second part being taking it as far as you can. This simply means to continue to follow that excitement, and it will begin to reveal to you places within your personality structure, within your personality matrix, that might have previously limited you. Negative beliefs will begin to come to the surface, for you are now running a greater degree of your non-physical energy through the personality structure, in a sense stretching it. And as a snake sheds its old skin, as your personality begins to expand with the light of who you are, so too will it stretch and push against the negative beliefs, activating them, bringing them to your awareness. And the negative feelings will then begin to generate the negative emotions associated with them and the negative thoughts. And so at that time, you're going through a process of cleaning up your vibration, sorting through and choosing beliefs that are more in alignment with who you truly are, will allow more of that light of your consciousness to flow through you. And of course, having no insistence on a particular outcome. This means that from a physicalized level, it is not the job of the physical mind to be able to know how things are meant to play out. It is the job of the higher minds to know, calculating many probabilities, parallel realities. The higher mind is the one on the mountaintop who sees the whole large vantage point, whereas the physical mind is there just to help you focus on physical reality in your particular timeline. Thusly, allow the physical mind to relax and surrender onto the higher mind, which is also an extension of you. Thusly, having no insistence on a particular outcome, you can allow things to unfold as they do, for there are times when certain lessons will be orchestrated for you to reveal what negative beliefs you're holding on to, so you can work through that and thereby expand your personality to accept even more of this light energy, so that you can translate it through your physicalized action to manifest more of who you are in the physical terms. The flip side of that being that the physical mind might conjure up an idea of how it wants things to happen, and the higher mind might have a vision that is much vaster than your physical mind could ever imagine. Thusly, if you insist on a particular outcome, you're putting severe limitations upon the way things could play themselves out for you. For the physical mind often has a much smaller capacity to visualize what is possible for you than your higher mind, which sees so much beyond the localized perspective of the physical mind. Thusly releasing, surrendering the outcome, letting it flow into place rather than trying to bang it into place. This will free up the physical mind to allow to rest and relax, and to simply focus on the action that it can take in that moment, in that particular time space coordinate, while the higher mind will allow the orchestration of the reality, the synchronicities that the physical mind could never activate. The higher mind, knowing all intersections of all time and all place, seeing from the mountaintop, that is the orchestrator. So trust that portion of you to organize everything for you. So that is the formula in a nutshell. Lastly, of course, you want to frame all that happens, the synchronicity, be it positive or negative synchronicity, as there to serve you. There is nothing in your way that is not there for a very specific reason, thusly taking the positive frame on even that which happens in due to negative energy. That is highly important. So that is the formula in a nutshell.
Thank you. There are two more questions on Facebook. One is also from Anne asking, can you suggest a practice to be more able to receive our inspirations, information from our higher self? And thank you again.
Use your imagination. For your imagination is the link between your physical mind and the higher mind. Thusly, each individual will be drawn to their own unique ways of activating their energy. Now, the general idea is when you follow your passion, you are bringing yourself closer in vibration to the non-physical higher mind version of who you are. So following your passion, of course, is the gateway, but use your imagination for what might work for one individual might not necessarily work for another. So while one person might be inspired to garden and to plant beautiful flowers or to plant vegetables, another might be drawn to the guitar or to play music, while a third person might be inspired to use art and creative production, creative expression in the various arts. It all depends on you. But the underlying thread is to follow the excitement and follow the passion. We hope this answers the question.
Thank you so much. So there is one more little comment and then a question at the end. This is from Joe. Tears down my cheek when I secretly said I'm afraid for the blockage I have to work through. And then you started talking about not being afraid. What should I do with the guilt over the self-medication addiction to it? Thank you, Joe.
First of all, there is no shoulds. Therefore, embrace where you are, for where you are is a perfect manifestation of your particular path and your theme of exploration. Acknowledge yourself where you are, for only when you fully validate where you are in your path of expansion, only then can you begin to perceive the next stages of the journey. When you invalidate where you are, when you invalidate the step that you're on, you remove your ability to step to the next stage of development. As a flower opens up, we might say that the completion of that process is the fully open flower releasing its wonderful fragrance. Yet there is an arc of development whereby the flower begins as a seed and grows, opens up to the flower, the bud then begins to open and awaken. So there's all these stages of development, and each stage is perfect as it is. Leslie, you are perfect where you are right now. And only when you acknowledge the perfection of where you are can you then begin to continue your stage of opening. Leslie, acknowledge where you are as paradoxically being perfect. When you fully validate, when you fully embrace yourself, when you fully love yourself as you are, unconditionally, meaning without conditions, only then do you create the proper frequency, the proper climate within which you can continue to open up to the greater parts of who you are as the flower bud opens up to its full potential as the flower in its fully open state. Thusly, the integrative frequency is to acknowledge exactly where you are, embrace yourself, embrace all portions of you, all negativities. And that creates the harmonic of integration. And it is this positive energy that will allow you to continue to open forward. So we hope that answers or points you in a positive direction.
Thank you so much. And I heard from both women that asked the questions. They said, thank you. Anne said, yes, it answered the question. So much appreciation for all of you. My heart is full. Thank you. Thank you, Thomas.
Thank you. So
I have
now we
one
would ask.
comment.
Okay, very good. Go ahead.
I, first of all, thank you. I love your vibration. I love how it feels when you're speaking. I love it. Thank you. I can't help but notice the wonderful movement of your hands when you're speaking. And I wanted to know if that has anything to do with you appearing here from where you are. And does that somehow enhance the vibration? Is your movement, it's so rhythmic and warming, is that somehow a part of some kind of resonance of where you are and where you're coming to?
Yes, it is a way of using the physicalized, crystallized body as a kind of tuning mechanism, increasing the vibration, like two antennae pulling in the frequency and transmitting the frequency. So yes, it helps with the resonation and wonderful observation on your part.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. It's just so nice to feel it while it's happening. Thank you.
It is truly lovely to co-create as you all are doing. For you're truly living that formula, following your passion. Thusly, any one being that follows their passion, and especially when you come together in community, you become beacons of light for others to do so.
I have a question.
Very good.
You're always trying to help us with our issues. I would like to know what density you are and what it's like where you are.
Ooh.
Fifth density, which is fifth dimensionality, is what you would call spirit consciousness. Thusly, we exist in a medium where time and space don't have the same meanings as they do for you in third and fourth density. Thusly, our perceptions of time would be much more simultaneous. Even while we are focusing into this unique time-space perspective that you're experiencing. We are experiencing a non-corporal consciousness. However, our focus is very much on helping you all to translate that vibration into physicalized time-space reality, manifestation, crystallization, and to help to deconstruct the limitations that have been a part of your particular timeline for thousands of years. So that is our purpose at this particular time-space reality intersection with your reality.
So Tom, can you hear us in there? Are you feeling, kind of like to ask you what it's like for you, Tom, to experience this, but let us know where you're at. If there's more messages from your channel or where you are with floating back to us as the Tom we know and love, or how do you feel in there?
We will, at this time, allow this transmission to come to a pause so that we can return to our point where we are transmitting this information at all times, through all times, to infinity. Therefore, this transmission is always occurring and you can always tune into it, for this is very much a reflection, this conversation, of the conversation you are learning to have with your own higher minds. Thusly, as this transmission comes to a pause, know that you can, at any point in time in your time-space reality, open up such a dialogue with your own higher mind. For as has been said in the beginning, everything is an extension of everything else. Everything is interconnected. Thusly, each of you has that capacity to have the same conversation with what you would feel as your own higher mind, for you all are aspects of all that is. So now we will allow this transmission to come to a pause, and we thank you for the gift of this sharing. And as your favorite entity once said, we wish you a fond good day.
Thank you, Thomas. Thank you very much. We've had beautiful comments. Vanessa said, inspiring transmission, much gratitude. Miriam said, thank you, Thomas. Love his Scotsman's brogue. Sounds like he was a Scotsman in a previous life. Joe said, yes, hand on my heart. Thank you, Thomas, and spirit. And I and we may love ourselves unconditionally, no matter where we are. Hope to start my light work soon to let the flower unfold again. Gratitude.
Lovely.
Anne said, time for, oh, she has one more question.
Oops.
One more question. Yes.
Oh, can I ask you?
I understand that Bashar is influential in your development. Is Bashar actually an alien life force?
That's a question you can field.
Yeah.
That's how I perceive him. And there's definitely extraterrestrial consciousness in play as well as extra dimensional. So there's physical civilizations and quasi-physical civilizations and non-physical entities all working with Earth at this time.
All right. Thank you.
And again, as you say, and your channel says, and Seth says, we can all access this soul energy, consciousness energy.
Absolutely. Yes.
Love
It is there for all of us.
And just knowing that we can, and opening up to that vast inner landscape that we all are, just encouraging us to open up these new vistas within us and discover and learn and bring forth that wisdom. So
And it's really the formula really is what I've discovered in my life, and I've been doing this for a long time. It's truly the distilled essence of the wisdom, because it's each step that we take reveals the next step. You know, it's like we get the impulse to follow this particular passion, and we take that step, and the next step is revealed. But if we don't act, it's like higher mind's just like, well, here, you know, what are you waiting for? It's like, we'll give you, well, we have all the steps here, but you're not acting. So you know, it's up to you. And you have free will. You have the ability to say no. You have the ability to say like, oh, maybe tomorrow, you know, but that just delays the inevitable unfolding of that flower. So it really, the formula, it's all in there.
Yeah. That was so lovely. It was so nice. It just absolutely felt wonderful.
Yeah, thank you for having me here. I'm endeavoring to do this more often, and I do it regularly with a group that I set up with Jeff down there. So maybe we can find a way to share that with people. And I do have the YouTube channel that has these channeled messages as well. So yeah, but yeah, I love doing this. This is truly following my passion. And, you know, it's always like, I expand into it, and then I also see where my personality has certain limitations and filters or attempts to filter. So as the channel, it's quite a powerful practice, because I can see how I sometimes resist. Like a certain question will come in, and it's like, you know, it's like, wow, okay, good, that just got revealed. Okay.
Now, it worked very well with Facebook. You know, I wasn't bombarded. You weren't bombarded with questions, and they came in nice and even going. So it does seem to be a easy forum to do the Facebook Live and take questions. You just need another person.
Yes, an assistant. Yeah.
Yeah. It worked. I didn't know how it was going to work. I mean, this channel that we do is all about trying new things, technical and not. And for the most part, they're pretty successful.
Yeah, and by you following your passion, I'm getting new ideas just watching your show, just now, of like things I might try, because I'm expanding into, you know, working with technology and figuring out how to do it. I've just been doing it on Zoom so far with a very small group of people. So yeah, this is another avenue.
Yeah. So this is, I mean, I just do Zoom, tell it to do Facebook Live. You can tell it to do YouTube Live as well. But I think Facebook has got, like anybody can see that.
Yes.
And using these beautiful gifts of technology we have right now, and using them for spiritual purposes and
absolutely
and connecting people to help encourage this strange this is the best use of this technology, to reach out to each other, to explore spirituality, to talk about exactly all of this. So what a blessing it is we have that we're living at a time where our friends around the world are a few button clicks away, and our interdimensional friends can join us now in the dialogue.
Right. Now, Joe is from, oh my gosh,
it's European.
Forget Brussels, maybe.
Oh,
I know Amsterdam.
Or Belgium.
I don't remember.
Netherlands?
Anyway, you know, you really touched her. So she just commented, I felt from the beginning the goosebumps energies over my legs and a very special energy present, tears pouring constantly. It felt like healing was going on. Is that right? Loved it, Thomas.
That's awesome.
A compliment.
Wow.
Wow.
Holland,
that's beautiful.
from Holland.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
if
amazing.
I might
Yes.
make a comment, I've been participating in Tom's channeling group, and I have discovered that after it's all over, I have an enormous amount of unknown energy coming from somewhere, leading on through the night and into the next day. So I don't know if other people picked that up or not, but I hope you did. And Thomas, thank you for joining our group. I'm really happy that you found us and we found you. And maybe future time you can come back and visit with us.
Yeah,
again.
I would absolutely love to come back and do this again. And just one last thing that comes to me, we talked about technology. I feel like kind of one of the not so commonly seen aspects of what's happening with 2020 is that we're actually learning to communicate and open up telepathically. And so this is like a transitional phase whereby, we're not so limited by time and space, and through the assistance of technology, we are connecting that global mind in a more powerful way. So yeah, it's pretty exciting that way.
Very
I was sitting here thinking that it felt like we are learning with the digital stuff. We are learning to group channel.
Oh, yes.
Group channel, I like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, we follow our passion. That's exactly what we're doing.
It's very much like it. We're all with you on the journey, and it's just magnificent. Who knows where
I kind of
communication
had
will
a
go?
Go ahead, Martin.
Oh, I kind of had an observation. The caller or the commentator said that she heard like a Scottish accent. I guess I could see that. What I was picking up on, maybe within it, is it almost felt like I was picking up from somewhere in between China and India, like that area, Nepal, that area. It just kind of felt that way for me. So, kind of a universal
Yeah,
presentation, maybe.
I've sensed flavors of
Go ahead.
Indian,
Sorry.
and I've sensed a little bit of that as well. It changes as the vibration changes. The tonal qualities of the voice also change over time.
Yep.
How long have you been doing this?
Only about a year, like I said. I mean, less than a
Wow.
year, within a year.
Wow.
But I have been exposed to this material for a long time, and I've made kind of half-hearted attempts, but wasn't fully quite ready to follow my passion and really reveal it. So it kind of hit dead ends because I didn't allow myself to break through the limitations, the fears, the fear of coming out, it's like, oh my God, what will people think? That stops many good people from following their passion. So I kind of dabbled in it a little bit, but it never went anywhere until finally I was listening to Bashar, and he just, particularly about channeling, he just says, get a group of friends together, have them ask you questions, just do it. He's just always pushing the action, and I'm like, all right, it's time for me, it's like,
Good way.
And thank you, Jeffrey, for telling us about him.
Absolutely. But I love that. I'm not familiar with Bashar, but the just do it. So one of the things that we really want to have here is channeling development and research and development of all the things that Seth taught. And that's what the Seth House is all about. We're just trying to get the house, the place preserved where it first happened. So we're on board, just sit and do it.
Yeah. I mean, you're following your passion, and that's why we're all here together today,
Yeah. And this whole, I know I don't like to talk about it much, but the whole COVID thing, before that happened, we were meeting with a very small group from Elmira. Once we weren't allowed to do that anymore, we didn't know what else to do. So we thought, well, let's try Zoom. So it has expanded now, instead of just a little group of people in this town, that it is crossing the whole globe.
Yes.
Yeah.
As far as Australia and Japan join us.
Germany, Brazil.
Well,
everywhere.
Europe is pretty well received here. Oh, and Audrey froze while you were channeling. I don't know if that means anything, Thomas, but she's coming back on now.
Yeah, but
Right.
the community of people all around the world that can come together to love Seth. And
It has grown so much.
and it's so exciting. And the passion for spiritual conscious development and connecting to everything that we're part of. So But as Kate said, that's, channeling development here.
Mhm.
Studying huge aspects of Seth's material that could take hundreds of years for in case of research and development. It's a techie term, but we all have to be in charge of our own research and development department. You
By
have
applying it, yes.
you to develop. It's infinite. So you're your own scientific laboratory of research and development. But as she's saying, we want to bring people together here and online to really do even more intensive things about studying some of the books. I mean, we want to really get into the inner senses and coordinate points, all kinds of things for deep discussion and deep study.
Mhm.
And like what happened with Mickey, it's so fortunate right at the beginning, she's saying, right before the show, she had this huge opening and awakening. You're doing the channeling opening. I'm developing my own channeling. I got hours of
Right.
channeling time that Kate and Oshara have put in together. I mean, we've done hundreds of hours of channeling time.
Wow, good, great.
And it is blowing me away. And the thing you're saying about coming out, well, coming out gay was easy. But there is something a little scary about coming out like, hey, I'm having wonderful experiences and these voices are saying things that I'm like, what the? And this is blowing my mind.
Yes.
I'm having a lot, we do it every day. We sit down to do channeling on the computer on QuickTime and record it, and I watch it later and I go, I don't remember what, that's really nice. And it's not like me, it's like I'm watching, wow, I love that. And that experience of channeling, recording, and that's the thing I would recommend with channeling development, record it and record it. Because when you
Yes. It's like you're telling your personality is experiencing the message from your higher mind directly, but from the personality's consciousness state. So it's a very powerful reflective mirror to listen to it later.
it's so loving, so understanding. They're saying stuff I couldn't have thought of.
Oh yeah, I take notes while she's channeling. I don't
Right.
record the whole thing the way Rob did, but I take little notes, highlights,
Yes.
and I'll read them back to her, and she's like, "They said what?" For that.
That's good. Oh my God,
Mhm.
So there's so many ways to go within and experience these things. And again, use the technology, audio, video, but it is
Right,
blowing me away.
everybody's cell phone has a recorder on it. You can,
Yes.
everybody can do this, and everybody.
Absolutely.
And like you're saying, it is blowing me away. And I do want to try to come out of that channeling closet. And we have
Oh, it's I recommend it because it's your life when you act on that passion and share it, because it's like you have this beautiful light, but you're like hiding it. You know what I mean? It's like because you're afraid of what old people say, but it doesn't matter what the detractors will say. It matters what positive influence you'll have on the people who the message is for. You know what I mean? And I know I know it's like the fear of God to come out of that closet. It's just like, it's scary. It's hella scary. Like I'll definitely acknowledge that. I still feel the fear. I was very nervous before today. It's still part, I'm still breaking down those barriers, but by following the passion and allowing the light to come through, it's revealing the negative blockages in the way that I can work through them, rather than if I just say, oh, I'm not going to do it. I mean, I would probably just be depressed and kind of, I just wouldn't even know what's going on. But by acting, each time I act, it expands and expands, more light shines into those negative beliefs, and I can continue to work with it consciously. And then I have the experience of like, hey, nobody ridiculed me. I'm still okay. Not being burned at the stake. It's like, I live in a safe universe.
I would suggest,
Right.
review this again on Facebook. I know you recorded it, but on Facebook, you will see the comments and you can, check real time. So they come in at, right now that's kind of a lag for me, but you'll be able to see them real time. And then you are a member of the group. You can correspond with people that you may resonate with, and in turn, the Facebook people can find you. So,
Right. Good point. Yeah.
So go back in and comment on the comments.
Yeah, we're
Right. Good point.
Absolutely.
encouraging
Yeah.
each
Because we're creating those links. creating that links in the global mind of like people connecting with the right,
Right, and friend people, that's another thing. So all of those links.
And to all of us encouraging each other's
Mhm.
development. So there is a safe place
Yes.
for us
Yes.
to the most important experiences that we can possibly have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
These breakthroughs. And I wanted to comment on what you were saying, Thomas, was it's so loving. Well, I'm going like this, but it's so loving, the energy that's coming through. A loving mind and heart is coming through wanting to speak for us. So get over the trepidation or the fear of judgment, because it's so important that we allow these voices to speak, because it's healing me. And it can,
Yes,
and it can only help.
absolutely.
I mean, the self-healing, it's been about 6 months, right around late March, early April, suddenly it started breaking through, like, wait, this is happening. And we've done it, like I said, every day. And the growth and development and changes within us has been like absolutely mind-blowing. And it is. I mean, when you really open these doors and let company in, it's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing.
And you'll start tapping into like sometimes the different flavors of your aspect selves will start coming in. That's really always interesting, but it's really just allowing that light. And daily practice. I actually practice vocally for myself, but out loud, because there's something about vocalizing it out loud that's actually crystallizing it into, it's physicalizing it, and it's helping to build that bridge and the link between the non-physical and the physical mind. So even for those who are afraid out there but want to channel, start channeling out loud for yourself, start recording yourself, just do it. But most of all, get a friend, a trusted friend, to ask questions, Q&A. Yeah, exactly. And then that pulls it's like pulling electricity through a circuit when those questions are getting asked.
It feels like you've been here for months.
Like I've been here for months.
Yes.
Oh, you mean part of this group?
Yeah, it's part of the group, like you've been here. You're not new, you've been here.
Actually, it came to me when you're talking about the Seth House, maybe doing a Seth conference through the house.
Absolutely. That's part of the plan from the beginning.
Yeah.
People, for hundreds and thousands of people from all over the world come here. Conferences, lecturers, speakers.
But for now, to do it digitally,
Yeah.
Because it's like what we're doing here, but just continue to expand it out and do maybe like once a month a bigger event, or so. I'm just some ideas are coming, or because I miss the Seth conferences, it's like those are fun.
Well, hopefully we'll be able to do them again. When we talk about Ron Card, he brought all his things, all his artifacts up here. And at that time we had 4 apartments in the house that we were able to use.
That was a year ago at Jane's birthday party. We had a party for Jane's birthday and Rob's birthday, and we had big events in real life with human bodies walking around, showing the house, and just to talk to other people who love the Seth books.
And we want to do that again, and we will do it again. And we're up for bringing everything back.
But the things you're saying, the possibility of
digitally, sure.
This is all of it. Do it all in real life, whatever that is, and this. And help, by the way, it's just Kate and me. So we need help with putting some of these great ideas into action. We also need your donations. That's TheSethHouse.com. Go to the donate page. And Kate has a beautiful 6-minute video on the homepage that we just posted. She's gorgeous. She's like such star personality here on this video, so you got to see that. And she's explaining it in 6 minutes, and so we invite your donations because it costs money to buy a house, fix a house, and have these programs we want to offer,
and then maintain everything and pay bills.
And that, if you ever wanted to donate, now's a good time, because we keep getting closer to something magical occurring, and please be part of this vision. Had to get that in too, but God bless us all.
This has been so full, and we have had a side time planned. I think this is an awesome way to actually.
We had a like I said, I had a script.
We can save everything else for next week.
So we did like 2 pages, and You were like there. So but we get, let's just say, tune in next week,
Yeah.
same bat time, same bat channel. And you'll find out what we can do next time.
Yeah.
The tour of the house and some other things we were going to
Right.
love letters from some readers, but just a lot of fun little
Yeah.
things. But
we
this feels
yeah,
so
it
full,
does. Yeah.
and this feels so full what we've done so far. We plus it's 2 minutes till 3 o'clock.
Right. It doesn't feel like we should just cart the computer around and jump into something else. Like this
Yeah.
really feels like
Here's the
this is
kitchen
amazing.
sink. Here's Shane and Rob's kitchen sink. No, it feels like save that for next week,
Yeah.
because there's something, we're sharing an energy field that's like, oh, let's keep feeling this energy field together.
And that gives us a reason to come back here next week.
Yeah, it's like a cliffhanger to be continued. You know, it's like, what will happen at the Seth House? Tune in next week. Those crazy Seth readers, what are they up to next? Well,
Mystery unfolds.
I have one last question for you, Tom.
darling,
Okay.
Is this the only entity that you channel? Is there another
So,
one? Is there a
well,
female
so-
entity?
So it comes to me as my higher mind,
Mhm.
and sometimes I get hints of flavors of different aspects. But
Yeah.
it hasn't defined itself yet as like, okay, this is this entity, this is that entity. It's kind of coming through, the higher mind, grand central, goes to the soul, the
Yeah.
oversoul, and then there's all the aspects, right? So, but I haven't
Yeah.
really gotten a full glimpse of all what
Interesting.
each in the individual. Are you seeing something? Because you sounds like you're sensing something. Yeah.
Mhm. Like they were saying, we'll stay tuned because I definitely, absolutely do feel something
Oh.
else.
One thing I do get is that it does seem to dip into a little bit of the extra, other civilizations, like extraterrestrial stuff. So that's
Uh-huh.
very interesting. Yeah.
Hmm.
so
It's just lovely how open you are, and it therefore makes you feel like a whole font of dimensional energy is there to come through, ready to pounce and be out, So
Oh,
that's
I
lovely.
just
But it's
wanted
such
to
a
give-
wonderful vibe. Oh, it's wonderful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
and maybe
It's just
I have to add that when it's question and answer time, you know me, I'm not the most conventional. I'll go right off topic and ask something else. And the answers have been spot on. And it's really nice to have somebody to ask all those, to elaborate on some of the ideas and principles that Seth brought through, not to negate Seth, but just to have somebody just to say, well, what does this mean or that mean? Because we really don't have a whole lot of people we can ask those questions to.
That's
So
a
I
good
jump
point.
on it when the opportunity arises.
Good point. Yeah.
I'm
What
thinking,
is your entity's name, Tom? Does he have a
yeah. I've asked that at one point earlier. I got the name Nathaniel. But at the same time, I haven't been using that name because it's sort of like I felt like that was kind of a name just to give my personality an answer. But I feel like, but I just feel like it doesn't at this time. It's not the time to have a name, or like the name might be somehow distracting, or it's part of the process is to just trust the flow and not get so specific, because we're very specific. It's like, what is it? What's the name? Where is it from? What civilization? What dimension? But it's like, I'm actually, that stuff's not coming in. What's coming in is the message of how to live my life more fully. So even when someone asked the fifth dimension, or asked the description, there was a question about the description. There wasn't a whole lot that seemed to materialize there. Whereas the other questions, like a rich flow of energy came in, because there are life application questions. How can I live my life more fully? So that's where the energy seems to flow.
Well, the resonance of the energy is just beautiful. Really, really, really beautiful.
Yeah, thank you.
I want to add to that what Mickey is saying. It's like, this is for all of us. What's inside all of us. So I almost want to make assignments. Sometimes I do that. Let's all this week channel. I mean, sit there and go to that inner voice that has been wanting to speak
With your recorder on.
through you. You can do it with a friend or by yourself, and you're loved by the universe, who is going to be so happy to get the invitation from you. Like,
Yeah, they're like, oh wow, we've been waiting for this for eons.
Oh my God, that human phone finally rang, for God's sake.
Right?
finally, I get to talk to you for listening. Yeah. So really, seriously and humorously, make it a point this week to sit down every day and maybe have a Seth book nearby for inspiration, but your recorder, and feel like start or continue the conversation you're having with the universe.
Yes.
Bring
And play.
playful, loving, trusting. It's the greater, you're part of this, you know, and it's
Mhm.
it wants to come through, so allow it and feel the love, feel the joy of life, the zest. Speak. So if Seth can speak, so can you. So I'm telling you to.
And next week we will ask what
My
result?
Yeah.
favorite,
Have you
my
done your
favorite,
homework?
It was something funny and I got rid of it there. It's like, you know, we're like monkeys and, you know, pulling the thing. But so really, because this is part of your huge soul, encouraging each other, your soul development. Go within, channel. Yes, it's that easy to listen to the great within and allow the great within to speak through you. It wants to. Now more than ever, we need to hear from the great within of every,
Yes.
to bring healing to this outer world. What is within you is limitless, amazing. Get all the words into the rest of that ... there, but do it, and then people can start a whole new life.
Absolutely. Because even if you do it for yourself, you know, if you're not feeling called to do it for others, if you do it for yourself, you're still making contact with your higher mind.
Yes.
And to punctuate your day, you know, your life daily with that
Mhm.
contact, your life will absolutely transform.
It
You're
will
making space
change.
for that energy. Yeah.
Mhm.
What if we all lived 100% consciously in communication with our higher self every day?
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna go for that. Yeah,
Boy, that
Let's
would
do that.
change things.
into this reality. Yeah.
Your higher mind wants you.
It's too
Well,
funny.
Uncle Self.
Yeah, Uncle
I
Seth.
almost broke into a song,
The
but I
Uncle
won't.
Self. I love that.
What song, Audrey?
Well, you know, though, I gotta say, it's 3:05 p.m. We usually try to, it's a 2-hour thing we're doing. I would encourage everybody who can to post this, share this on your Facebook, because I think this is one of the best ones we've had. And also, I think it's because we're really saying, everybody out there, let's do this. Let's keep opening those doors and opening,
Yes.
finding out,
Open those doors of perception.
Yes. Yeah.
yeah, to find out who your truer self is.
Yeah. The development word is important, like research and development. It's time to
Yeah.
develop. We've been researching, we've been reading, we've been
Yeah.
talking.
Yes. It's action. It's action. Develop, act.
Seth wasn't teaching just so it's intellectual knowledge. He keeps saying, you can do this.
Mhm.
You are part of all this. Let it in, let it out. So
We call it practical Seth.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. But look at how the world has changed in the small, well, I say small, but in the years since it all first started,
Oh,
since
absolutely.
Seth manifested, and look at where we are now. My gosh, what a difference.
Yes.
What
Yes.
a difference. So it's already having a profound effect from back when it started to the now. And we're so much more expanded in our reach and our reach out to each other. It's so guiltless. I mean, when you think about the religious atmosphere of the past,
Yeah.
you know, and the further back you go, the worse it was. So this is no Salem witch trial fear going on around us. We're open to each other because we feel safe. We're beginning to understand more and more about the fact that it's a safe universe. You know, that's being reinforced. So I'm so grateful for that. This is just all of this, all of us, the usness. It's just fabulous. It's so reaffirming. It's like having your psyche stroked. and
Yeah.
pat it. We're getting psychic hugs.
Indeed.
Yeah, universe is hugging us, and I love it.
And let me tell all the people out there on Facebook that don't ever think twice about emailing us. We love emails. We really do. We love reading your correspondence. Yeah, we just love it. So feel free to contact us. info@TheSethHouse.com or on Facebook. Connect with each other. That is so important. Start liking and being friends with each other.
Play
Start
night.
with yourself.
Yeah.
You might find out that friend that you asked that friend request is really you anyway.
Yes, exactly.
You just never
Thank you.
Friend yourself.
Oh yeah, friend yourself. Oh gosh, yes, we need that on a t-shirt.
Yeah.
I have a lot of cousins in Latin America, and a number of them have the name Jesus. So every once in a while, I get a friend request from Jesus. It always throws me.
Well, that's always a good thing.
That's brilliant. That is brilliant.
So
I'm seeing a lot of haha faces floating up in Facebook as people hitting the laugh button.
Seth is your friend always too. So,
Yeah.
and be a friend of Seth House as well. But yeah.
Oh, Thomas, do you want to tell people your email, or not your email, your website name, so that they know how to find it?
Yeah. So if you're a Seth reader, it should be easy. It's sumarihealingarts.com.
Oh.
Okay. Sumar
Ooh.
Healing Arts, plural, .com.
Yes. Yeah. And then the channel messages are on my YouTube channel, but you can find it from there.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. That's nice.
Wonderful, wonderful. This has been a very special Seth Talk here live from Elmira, New York, for everything. I mean, it was just jam-packed with blessings.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All about expanding that consciousness and
Connecting
being
with each
Following our passion.
co-creators of a better world.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
right.
We hit a home run today.
I think so. You kicked it right off.
Yeah, really. That was something.
Sure did.
Oh,
It seems to be in the air.
Yeah.
Well, good. That's what we want. We're trying to spread the word around the world so that it is in the air.
And I think humanity's ready. I think as Seth said it too, like we are all poised as a collective human species for the next
level.
We're over ready. We're like, let's do this thing. So
Bursting at the seams.
Yeah.
I think we're past ready, and we keep saying we don't want to go, and our higher selves are starting to come in and say, come on, just like a child, let's get in the car.
There's a foot in your there's a foot in your back going, get out of here.
Yeah.
Go on out there.
Hey, look, if you're not ready for us, we're ready for you, and we're coming to get you. So make it easy for them and do your channeling exercises, do your psi time, go within, read Seth, and blossom. Be the flower you came here to be. That's it. Consciousness is a flower with many petals. Seth in this room. So
that's the other thing.
We'll never end this conversation. It's going to keep going.
So we've been doing the psi time exercises, and the one that I was going to do today is from book 7 of the early sessions. So that's prior to Seth Speaks. He wrote all of those books, 9 books.
Here.
Then Seth Speaks, then Nature of Personal Reality. Then he went into Unknown Reality.
My favorite.
Written in this room.
All those words were spoken
apartment.
Here. All those words were spoken in this room. And
that Unknown Reality is just so mind-boggling.
And I think, except for Thomas, I think every person on here has a piece of this room with them.
Mm-hmm.
Not me, not Jeff.
Huh?
Oh,
I never received one yet. I haven't donated anything yet.
oh,
Well, you can donate, and for $20, we'll send you a page.
At least.
A paint chip. Yeah, I know.
If you, nice subject.
I
If
got
you
that.
Very
donate to the
special.
House,
Yeah.
20, 25 bucks or 20,000 bucks.
Yeah.
No limits.
Oh, yeah,
You'll get a real paint chip from here.
from these bay windows.
Yes, when we renovated the apartment, it was so skanky. We renovated, we chipped the paint, saved the paint chips. You can have live and in person a paint chip sent to you from this room that heard every word of Seth.
yeah.
Yeah.
From Seth Speaks Early Sessions Nature. It heard, that paint chip heard this and felt the energy.
Yes.
So you'll
Yeah.
get that, and you'll get,
We give them.
we stuff an
Oh,
envelope full of neat stuff.
we give you this. Well, that's for last year's.
Oh,
That's nice. That's very nicely done. It's
I
such a quality thing.
That is a painting Rob did. That was donated to the Seth House by a man that his dad owned the building when they lived here.
Mhm.
the Spazianis.
Yeah.
And also we list all of our donors
Oh, yeah, here.
on the website
So there's all
And
the
in the
donors
booklet.
for the first 2 years.
by name.
By
Evil
name,
Legion,
yeah.
Wow.
And, and we're gonna have in the Welcome Center downstairs, enshrined on the wall, all the donors. So you get to be really acknowledged as a donor.
And we listed all our achievements, and this was
Mhm.
last year. So this year, we don't know exactly what we're gonna do yet, but
But-
and this is, I mean, this costs money to have it printed, so.
It's so well done. I mean, when I received mine,
It was,
I was absolutely shocked at the quality of what you sent. I
well,
mean,
Shara and I come from desktop publishing backgrounds,
Uh.
so this really is our specialty, not
mhm.
this stuff.
But no,
Well,
we're,
it's really good. It's very,
Well, I want-
very worthy.
Oh.
but we just want to give our friends of the Seth House as much as we can. And we're trying,
And you get
you
the
know-
postcard too, the one we
Oh.
showed get the postcard.
you get these
you get-
postcards.
Well, wait, no,
You
they
get all that
this
too.
one.
You get this one, the
Th-
Please Restore Me.
This
We're
one,
talking
you only get the second. You get this
Paint
one the
chip
first
booklet, love
Anyway.
letters. We love you. We love you.
Yeah.
So,
I love the letter I got from you.
oh,
Yes, that was nice. But I
And-
want to say too that when you get the paint chip, we laugh among ourselves about the paint chip. Oh, and you'll get this paint chip from, it's from the house and it has heard every word that was
Yes.
spoken in the room. But on the serious side, the truth of that is quite profound. That paint chip really did resonate vibrationally as a part of those events. It was there at the time. And whatever was going on vibrationally, the resonance of it actually did imbue that vibration into the paint chip. So
Yeah.
don't take it lightly to
And-
those who are hearing, when you're talking about it, because when it came in the mail, I felt it when the mailman came before I opened it, and I was wondering, well, what is this I'm feeling? And there is something there. It is interesting to me in the grand scheme of things that really was on the wall, feeling the vibration of when Jane channeled and all of whatever was going on in the universe that made it possible, that was there on the scene in that now. And
Yes.
it's gone from that now to this one where you're holding it.
So
And I'm glad-
if we believe what Seth said, everything is consciousness.
Yes,
That consciousness absorbed the words and the vibration and
exactly.
personalities.
Exactly.
We are spreading that around the earth. It's not just in this one building.
No, it's real. It's real. And for those
It's
who
still
really
in
still don't
contact.
get it, huh?
Yes.
It's all
and-
still connected.
Yes, because the molecules of
In
the atoms that
yeah.
make up that paint chip, those atoms have consciousness, and their consciousness was present and alive and aware when Seth's consciousness was there, alive and aware. So there's a connection there
Oh, yeah.
And I'm so
of the expanded now from then to our expanded now that we're experiencing to focus on, because they're
Mm.
all happening at the same time.
I'm so glad you
And
So
you
said
know,
it's just as
Seth said when Seth was channeling the books to Jane, he, since past, present, and future are all simultaneous, he
yeah.
said to Jane, Kate and Oshara are going to be redoing this bay window, so I'm going to put a little extra something into these paint chips because
Very
they're going to
fun.
be sent around the world.
Yep.
I'm sure he knew. Yes, I'm
Yeah.
sure he knew.
well, and
I'm
also
just guessing, but it sounds right.
No, it does. Well, it's the whole thing about everything being simultaneous.
Mhm.
There's a lot to take in about that. And every time it comes up for me, I explore a different part of it, you know? And it's like what they used to call palpating. You feel something, you're just kind of feeling it to pick up some of the reality of the thing that you're touching and palpating. You want to feel it better.
and use
And
it as a tool of psychometry. You know what I
yeah,
mean? We can touch
Yeah.
something, meditate with it.
Mhm.
And yes, we could project into this room. Yes, we
yeah.
could get the feeling. Yes, just to meditate it on. I'm so glad you're saying this, and that people are getting what the intention was of that. That a piece of the Seth house is coming out to all the Seth
hmm
they can hold
Mhm.
and feel it and connect.
Yeah, the two nows,
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's
the
not
two
just,
aspects of one now
yeah,
are connected.
and bring
And
yourself
we're part of that connection.
be with Seth. You know, I'm so
Yeah,
glad.
I love it. I
Oh my
love
God.
it.
People are on Facebook saying, I got to put my glasses on.
Oh,
Where can I donate, loves? Would love to support. Seth changed my life. I found Seth when I was 17. This group feels like home to me. Thank you so much. And
Wow.
Sha'ak. You can donate right here on Facebook. If you go to the Seth House page, you can donate there.
Mhm.
If you go to the video that Oshara posted of me, it's like a 6-minute video talking about why we started the Seth House. There's a donate button on there. You
Well,
can go to the website, TheSethHouse.com. There's a
and
donate page that gives you many ways to donate. You can send us a check. You can, I mean, we'll take your money any way we can get it.
and every penny goes to this place.
Right here, yeah.
Every penny goes to this place. Kate and I don't get paid for this.
No.
We put our
Mhm.
money in at the beginning, and after a couple of years, it was able to pay us
Right.
back.
We've
So
been
we
paid
did all
back.
the legal paperwork. We paid for it on our credit cards,
Right.
and
So
but so we haven't made
so
a penny.
the
But my God, what we have
Seth
learned.
doesn't owe anybody any money. So we,
Mhm.
through donations,
We're in the
we're
black.
able to pay our bills and put money towards the purchase of the house.
That's the thing.
So
We got to
we're-
sock
yeah.
it away to buy the place.
Yeah.
She's so good. She was a bookkeeper for 2020 for over a decade.
Yeah.
Accountant. She knows
Yeah.
what she's doing, and we're. So thank you for asking. You would have
Oh my
thought we
God.
said that. Oh, what? What's
No,
going
no,
on?
it's wonderful.
Again, that's TheSethHouse.com. Easy to remember.
Shaw just says, oh, wow. Okay. I have lots of money to give. God bless.
Wonderful.
And go to the donate page, and there's
God
a lot
bless
of
you.
opportunities in there to donate. And we work hard on that website.
Wow.
And
We do.
and again, it's not for us. It's for
It's to bring this awareness to the world and
Yeah.
to the
and the
youth
future.
that wasn't here 50 years ago, and they're now just learning about this.
This could affect people still not born.
Sure.
The,
Yeah,
this could have,
exactly.
yeah.
Thank you, Shaw. Thank you.
Yes, he's
Our-
asking, you're trying to buy the 501c3 nonprofit foundation that we
Yes.
created wants to buy the house. And so it's total transparency that the charity would own the house, and the donations would help to buy it, restore it, and help promote the programs here.
Shaw,
Doing everything we can to promote Seth, but it's unlimited what could happen with your support.
Shaw just said, I learned how to make money because of Seth's teachings.
Ooh,
Oh, wow.
so did I. Yes.
Okay. And we do
Yeah.
hear that. We do hear that from people. And, and we're trying to promote all of that.
Mhm.
because we all are unlimited beings and we need to believe that, right?
Mhm.
Believe it.
Because it'll manifest as soon as you actually take it in.
And Seth healed me, and that's
Me too. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the healing power of Seth. We got to get that out there now more than ever.
Wow.
We
I
really do.
love you guys. I love our Sundays together.
Yes. Yes. It's nice.
And you know, when we started out, I think we might have had 20 people that watched. We're now getting over 200, 300 people viewing it, you know,
Wow.
week. And this is on Facebook.
And YouTube.
Yeah. Well, YouTube, it's different. So it's more numbers on YouTube. Shaw says, thank you. Thank you. My heart feels fluffy and wonderful.
I like that. I like fluffy hearts.
Yeah, it's always nice to go back and review this and see the comments and like the comments and connect with the people. And God, I love you all. Thank you so much.
Really. Well, are we keeping up past your bedtimes?
Yeah.
It's almost 3:30, so it's a 2.5 hour show. That's the thing. It's
Yeah.
like we have had some of these. These are supposed to be 2 hours. We have gone over 5 hours.
When Oshara's here.
Yeah.
I do alone. I'm pretty good at ending in 2 hours.
It's a timeless universe, and it's a timeless Seth House and Seth Talk. So, well,
Thank you, everybody. And join us again next week. We'll come back here. We'll do a tour of the house. Maybe by then, Ron will have some pictures up of the things that he brought. And maybe I'll put a little spreadsheet together or a slideshow.
We'll do a side time. Maybe
Side
read some.
time.
We wanted to read some love letters we received
Yeah.
from people too. So we want to read love letters if you want to get yours in. Listen. It's so much fun talking to you guys. We can
Yeah.
just we're just channeling our higher selves anyway when we're here. So let's
Mhm.
start your channel studies.
Miriam says, love you all. Thank you, Kate, Oshara, Jeffrey, Thomas, Mickey, Martin, and Audrey.
And you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else, folks? We got it? Or anything else, folks?
We're good.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody. We love you. And we'll see you
Love
next
you.
week. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.